Are you ready? Are you ready to rumble? What's up, everybody? Welcome. I apologize for the wrong ping earlier on Discord. I forgot to change the thumbnail, and that would have gotten people confused. We talked about this yesterday, why we're doing the same thing over again, but I fixed that now. Everything should be good. Should be good to go. Let's tune down this a little bit. How's everybody doing today? Let's pop this baby open. Where is this? Here we go. All right. All right, guys, today's live stream is actually going to be quite, going to be short and sweet. I'm not going to be here for about an hour. There are other things that I need to work on. I wasn't able to finish on the videos last night, like I said. So the live stream is going to be short and sweet today. I was planning to do a few more things, but for the sake of, make sure that for the sake of me being able to deliver everything that I'm promising you guys, we're going to do a quick overview on some things on commander roles today. What's up, Wyman? Leave your what up in the chat here as you guys come in. Okay, so we might be be here. Can you guys type in the chat what those 5 roles could be? Is it 5? Let me see here. Yeah, 5 roles. What those could be. We have some pretty popular ones, the ones that everybody's using. Oh, shoot. Yo, I'm not on mute. My mic is not muted. You guys can't hear me? What's up, Ghost? All right, man. Thank you. Ghost, we just started alive. Ghost with a 10 euro super chat. What's up, baby? Just a small one. What's up, Marcelo? What up, everybody? All right, so let's go over the 5 different commander roles. I don't know, something was bugged on my mic. Maybe it was you, or I meant maybe it was me. I apologize. See, that's what I try to fix just barely. Make sure that we got the right stuff. Okay. I got some other cool news, but the thing is, today, guys, I promise I'm not gonna go over 30 minutes because there's some really cool stuff that we're working on, and I really need to get going on these things. What's up, Evan? Evan 2101, brother. I apologize. We might have to postpone that account review to tomorrow. Okay. Let's see how how we are doing with time here today. Okay, I do want to get through the topic for today, so that I have time still today to finish the other 2 videos from yesterday. Send them over to Marvin so we can get those videos cracking. Because, all right, because tomorrow we're gonna do something different. We're gonna do our in forever. We're gonna do our first tier list. There, let me look at my notebook here. There's about 25 different tier lists I gotta get through, and so tomorrow we're gonna do one of those together in the live stream. Okay, I'll let you guys know tomorrow which one it is, but I'm already doing my calculations here, my little little copy notes, my little in Portuguese we call colas. Yes, there's quite a few that I gotta get through. So I want to make sure that they might not all be in a live stream. I just gotta see what the best format will be. But yeah, it's quite a lot. Now, Wyman yesterday gave me in a way he gave me a challenge, and I'm gonna remind you guys every single live stream, every single video now, because until I get to those. A tier list of all Brazilian players. Let's go. Wyman would be at the very top. So yesterday, Eomir, he made a joke in the chat here about me doing a 1,000 pull, Mathem pull, right? And I told him I was gonna hold him to it because he was gonna sponsor that. But I got a couple of DMs yesterday saying, "Look, yo, if you're gonna do something crazy like that, I'll sponsor some of those Mathems." All right. So I showed you guys my account. You guys can see my screen. Yeah. So I got 178 Mathems saved up here. I've been saving them up little by little. So basically, I am short. What, 800 and whatnot? 822. All right. And I already got a couple of people saying that they will sponsor parts of those 1,000 Mathems. And I want to see if we can do this together. All right. You guys know that a lot of my time spent on the game is doing some like crazy research, you know, like the healing. Oh, 822. I got 178. So 822. Ghost just did a super chat, and part of that money is going to go, not part of the whole 1093 that I got will go exactly towards the Mathems. Okay. So I'm probably down, 800 now. I want to see if we can do this together. Okay. And you guys know that a good part of my time on the game is I use doing research of different types of formations. Back in 1.0, I already did that. In 2.0, I'm still doing that. I'm not sure that, I'm pretty sure that one of the reasons why we started talking about healing formations again in 2.0 is because of a couple live streams that we've done where we showcase the possibilities of healing formations, right? So if you guys are up to the challenge, hit me on a DM, and we're gonna get this 1,000 Mathem poll on a live stream as soon as possible. All right. But let's get to today's topic. There are five, in my view, at least for now. I see 5 different types of commander roles. Can you guys name me a few that you guys think could be one of those 5? We talked about one already, and that is the easy damage commanders, right? You got the damage commanders here. Let's have a look. And it's physical, elemental. Elemental being fire, poison, or focus. So we got our Danes. We got our Galadriels. She's not, a full-on damage commander because it doesn't scale as well as others do. But then you have your Thorins, you got your Bjorns, you got your Kings of Men, your Gimlis. Those are all physical damage dealers, right? Let's see here. Whale said tank. Yes, for me, tank is a commander role. You can use tanks with a lot of different commanders if you're using a lot of unit defense and command. Yes, that is true. But there are a few commanders that are they have skills that will do that just that much better. And we'll go over each one of them in just a second. So we got our damage dealers. We got our tanks. We have Wyman. So Whale and Wyman sit support. And in my list, that is also a commander role. You got your likes of Gandalf the White. You got your likes of your Saurons. Okay, these are prime examples of supports. We have 2 more. Let's see who else. We got who said healers? Let's see who wrote healers in the chat here. Somebody did. I saw a healer somewhere. Here. Oh, Wyman also. A healer is a commander role for me. And the last one, I guess there could be 2 more. I forgot about one of them. One is crowd control. I'm not sure. Let's look through some examples of possible crowd control, but I'm not sure if you can put CC in its own role. Like, would you think of having a commander that all they do is CC? I'm not sure. Maybe there are one or two that maybe do that very well, but we'll go over that one. That one wasn't on my list, actually. The last one was a troop commander, right? Mostly on the offense type. That's what I was kind of focusing on, because a lot of support, usually a lot of times support will be that, a support would be that they help your formation survive. So that's why support from you is kind of one of those, the troop commander, but the defense in a way. And troop commander for me would be more of on the offense. Like you have your damage dealers, then you have your commander buffer. That's kind of how I'd call it. Would be the equivalent of a damage dealer, but on the troop side. Currently, there's a huge downside of using troop commanders, and we'll go over, if we have time, I'm hoping to go over let's see here on my Discord. We have, oh man, now it's, let me see if I can see it on my phone. His name was just there. Give me a second here. No Leander, he posted a couple questions about his formation, and I told him I would go over his formation in the live stream, because this is an example of this, like, deciding what commander role you're gonna go with, and that can be tricky, especially for low spenders. Okay. Yes. So what I think why? Yeah. Yomir said Sauron is really just CC. See, Sauron is one of those uniques that, I mean, I see Sauron in so many different ways here. I see him with like 3 different roles possibly. But that's, you're right, Omir. He has what? 1, 2, has 3 skills. 3 of his trees have some kind of crowd control. But that's the thing. Besides, the reason why I'm a little bit hesitant of creating its own category just for Sauron is because are there other commanders that are like him? That, that are, they're just crowd control. If you guys can name me a few, then I guess we'll create a, Sauron, a CC category. I know we talk about CC, like Galadriel has CC. Who else has? You got, Galad has one. To me is a waste of a tree, but he does have a CC skill. King of the Dead also has one. What's up, SSSS? How you doing, brother? I'm actually surprised how many people showed up. I told you guys yesterday that the stream was going to be a little bit later, but I didn't get a time to actually create the thumbnail. So I'll create the thumbnail for tomorrow, so you guys don't have to wait for this. But I'm actually happy that we have 20 people on right now. Man, this is so exciting. All right, so let's go first with these 5, and then we will talk about the CC one on Sauron. Other commanders are used for their CC and their skills, just a bonus. Exactly. Their skills, their CC is a bonus. That is why I love using Galadriel, because her CC is actually quite useful, but it's not her main skill. Well, in my opinion, there are just 3 roles. DD, including commander damage and troop damage. Tank and support, including CC, damage reduction, and healing. That is a good way to put it. The reason why I like to go a little bit more broad is because that people can get confused. You're right. In a more high level, you have your damage, right? Either being troop or commander. You have your support, and you have your tank. Those are 3 distinct roles. But I like to break it down, separating commander from troop, just because it is a different setup for gear, So it's especially right now, where we talked about this yesterday on the Gear Live, where commander damage is not determined by them losing health or the troops losing health. We're not on equal grounds right now. So that's why for now I'll keep it separate. But I definitely agree with you. There's 3 types of main roles, but then in this game where you have commanders and troops doing 2 different things, then I like to separate it for the sake of that. So I want to start with my new favorite one, and those are the tanks. Who here in the chat runs a tank in your formation, be in your first formation or your second formation? Just type me tank. Just type tank on the chat, or actually type tank and write their name. Tank and whoever. Who do you run as your tank? By the way, guys, if you're new to the channel and you're watching, don't forget to subscribe. It's a free way that you get to support the channel. Ooh, is Jax on voice? Jax is on voice. All right, see, I'm gonna hop on my Discord voice because Jax is on her. What is going on, Jax?
Hey, man.
How you doing?
What?
How you doing?
Fine. Yeah. Sorry, I was looking at a report.
Nah, no problem. So I'm assuming you had to get into the season, huh?
Yeah, just a PvP and duel at the end here. So I'm trying to get the 4 formations to 40 and then run over to the Dead Marshes to do some PvP. And
4 formations. All right. Jeez.
yeah, they're all like 39 right now. So another day I'll be ready.
Sweet.
Yep.
All right, cool, man.
So what are you talking about here? You talking about, is this for new players? Or
Yeah, we're working on new player guides and videos this week. So talking about the 5 formation, the 5 commander roles that we have in the game. So we have our tanks, our supports, our healers, our troop commanders, and our damage dealers. Do you run any tanks?
Yeah, I use Sanid and
Interesting.
Oglurg as my tanks.
All right, cool.
And those are both with Great Beast.
That's
high defense gear, you know.
Yeah, high defense and high command, right?
Yeah, but Sanid, she can heal too, so you get, I don't know, like 1/4 of the damage you take in healing back with her also. So
yeah, I think with the math, it was about 40-something thousand that if you have the focus and the command gear, then you can get about 40-some thousand healing from her throughout the fight on average. Pretty good.
Well, I'm just using defense gear, so I don't want to put.
I know. It's one of those things that it's like, is it really worth it to scale and focus? Most of the times, it won't be.
I'm interested in Undying, how much healing he can do now with the
46,000 if you have the best in slot gear. About 46,000. I gotta look. There's an exact number. I don't have it in front of me.
Really?
About 46,000 of healing. He has the best single.
What do you mean the best gear? It's just.
I mean, you got no exact. When I say best gear, is the best gear to scale that that skill. So the focus and the command
on Undying. There's just no way, because he's a damage commander and maybe a tank or support hybrid type commander. Yeah. There's no way you're gonna focus gear.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. If you run if you're just trying to see how high his healing can be, you can get up to about 46, maybe 47,000 healing from Undying.
I don't think anybody touches the good side healers like who's out there, Galadriel.
Oh, you didn't see my reports from my last season, did you?
No, Galadriel and who else? Radagast. Who's that? Círdan or something? Who else is really good over there?
Círdan, Radagast, Galadriel. Those are the top 3. I was getting about 120,000 healing with that formation.
Who's the best healer on good side?
Radagast.
Is he? Oh, yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. In terms of in numbers, yes. But the thing is, this is the tricky thing. Guys, for you guys that are watching, looking at just pure numbers without understanding your own strategy doesn't really work. So even though Radagast is the highest healer, depending how your formation is set up, he might not heal as much because you might be getting the way you play him, he might not be actually taking that much damage to actually even heal, because he heals a lot in the first 4 rounds. But for example, if you're using Gil in that formation and you're evading all that front load damage, then that means that Radagast will only be then healing you once every 2 rounds. Then his healing is not going to get to the optimal level. But you can get, so Radagast alone as a healer, you can get up to, I think it's like 76 to 80,000 healing with his relic. So if this is healer 100% optimized, just Radagast can get like 80,000 healing for you.
Damn, no shit. So you gotta.
I've saved some reports for you to look at later, but I was getting last season about 120,000 healing with my formation.
So you would have to do like some of these if I'm always talking RP for the most part, but role play. You would have to get like some of these anti-heal skills maxed out or make sure they're slotted if you're going up against that.
Exactly. And that's the nice thing about the healing is even those skills won't necessarily stop you from healing. So I think I was hitting a formation with both Sauron and Gimli with their anti-healing skills, and I was still getting like 65,000 heal. So it's
You've been in the lab. You've been in the lab a while. What have you figured out with that good account of yours, that whaled good account?
Bro, a lot. I mean, I'm running Falcon, running Frodo.
Good. Yeah, he's definitely good.
Running a whole healing formation. So, yeah, man.
A whole healing, nice. I got to see that.
Yeah. I'll show that to you in just a second. But guys, let's get back to the first topic here. So we got our tanks. So let's see. Evan is running Frodo. Whale running Isildur. Let's see here. Eomer running Isildur and Frodo. Let's see. I mean, come on, guys. Where are the evil players?
Well, evil doesn't. All we have that I've found is, the mountain trolls, obviously, but they suck now because it's just normal attacks that they aggro. I think Great Beast is the best.
No, Great Beast. If you're gonna go NRP, Great Beast all day and night. If you're evil RP, Great Beast all day and night. Good side struggles on the unit side. Good side struggles because if you're RP, because you don't have a unit that does that. You got the Swanites and the Ents who have the Protector skill, but it's only for the first 3 rounds and it's just normal attacks. So
we don't have any commanders like these, Falcons and Frodos, bro.
On the evil side, no.
It's very strange to me how biased it would appear blatantly that the developers are in favor of good side commanders. It's just it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, what I hated about 1.0, what I still dislike about 2.0 is the fact that the evil side doesn't have a whole lot of variety. And that sucks. Either being just a counterplay to good side, so a lot of commanders with different types of CC or different types of elemental damage or just different types of skills. This is something I always dislike back in the classic Rise to War, is that good side has very plug and play commanders, easy to understand for the most part, where evil struggles.
Well, it's just harder. It's very difficult, if we're talking tanks, there isn't a lot of choices.
No, you're right.
Undying, and I think he's right. Undying is probably one of the 3, or 3 or 4 that we have, maybe that could be excel in the role of tank.
Yeah, Undying is my tank. That's how I run him.
Yeah, that could work definitely.
But I mean, he's probably one of the better tanks that Evil has, because if you look at T1s, I mean, I can't think of a T1 that can be a tank on Evil. T2s, I mean, let's look it up here. I mean, let's have a look. Let's pull up the screen on the side here. Gothmog used to be our evil side tank, but now he's just very, very average. His skills are just nowhere and everywhere at the same time.
Yeah, I know they don't work well together. You either got it one way or another. I don't know of anybody that uses this character anymore.
Yeah,
for PvP.
So, I don't think. Yeah, I mean. I would have loved to have seen a T2, evil as a good tank. I don't think there is really one.
I think all of evil players are role play. I'm usually always speaking role play, but I think all of evil players would just love any fucking type of evil skill from season 1 till now that compares to White Council.
Yep.
Just anything. Like, you had White Council all along. We used to have whatever alchemists and stuff. And we had some things that were definitely, a little bit skewered.
What sucks right now what sucks, in my opinion, having an evil account and good side accounts. What sucks for evil is that just the meta for RP evil is so stale. It's like the same 4 or 5. It's gonna be your Sauron. If you guys think NRP is boring right now, imagine playing as an evil player. Because right now,
are you talking RP or NRP?
No, let's talk about it. No, that's what I'm saying. If you think our NRP is, because a lot of people say NRP is boring because everybo's running Dane. I know it is. It's people running Gandalf the White, Danes, Bjorns, and Saurons together. But evil RP suffers because they don't have any other options besides, especially if you're a lower spender. Okay, your options are Lurtz, Shadow, Sauron, and an Undying or Witch King. Honestly.
No, I disagree with you there, because RP evil, you got all kinds of options. Like, it's crazy how many options you actually have. I disagree there. I
don't think it's viable to the same level as good side is.
Well, what about the unit damage formations? Okay, troop damage, commanders and formations. Those are great on evil RP, or can be.
I mean, I'll let the reports talk. So I know are you getting your troops ready for PvP? So we're gonna come back in about a week or so, and you're gonna showcase some of your reports from your troop commanders, and then you have shut me.
I'll be ready.
All right.
I'll be ready in a few days.
Perfect.
But, I've got to have people. When they want to go PvP with me down in the Dead Marshes, whoever's from our season.
All right. Well, Wyman is here. Wyman from Iron, or
all right. So
he'll lap right now.
Whoever that's from our season or watching, if you're going to want a PvP with me, you're gonna have to, because I'm gonna be level 40, and all you guys are gonna be whatever 47, 48, 49. I would assume you're gonna have to, when you go to make your formation, you're gonna have to put it at like 60 or 70% full instead of full, because it won't be fair. You'll have to compare your total strength or command level down to me, which is going to be around 6,500 or something like that, instead of 7,700, which is where your guys are probably at.
Yep.
Until I catch up in levels, at least level 45, and then I should be able to take on just about anything. Whether it's your higher level or not, shouldn't matter that much. But in the interim, you got to scale it down, just take off through your troops, But I think RP, there's a lot of options. I mean, you got interesting, different choices and commanders and a wealth of opportunities that you can exploit, and a lot of things you can kind of, go in one direction with and optimize and special things. I think both sides are pretty balanced in the different types of scenarios and stuff that can unfold depending on how you build it and gear it and play it.
I don't know.
I mean, you fucking good side players would say the same thing. They would be like, well, what are we supposed to do over here? There's only like 5 or 6 commanders that we have to run if we're going to have any chance against this meta that's out there right now, that for whatever reason, I'm not sure why, but the development team still hasn't addressed this, unbalanced and this stale meta, especially in NRP with the same meta cookie cutter formations and whatever 80% of all fights, right? Like, that's not good when you got 30 other idle commanders you're doing nothing with. The whole idea of 2.0 was make all commanders great again, or whatever the slogan was. And, you've definitely done that, but you've only done it at whatever a 10% rate.
Exactly.
So,
that's true.
Same old rodeo here, man. Same old fucking clown fiesta. Yeah. That we're always waiting for something. We're never happy as the player base. I suspect we never will ultimately be 100% happy, but it's pretty unfair. It's fair to say right now in favor of obviously the good side cookie cutter main meta formation that the Dane and Bjorn and Gandalf the White and whatever. And something needs to change, I think, for the the health of the game.
I hope. I mean, the thing is, this is the, I hope that something does change. At this point, I'm like, let's just have as much fun as we can, because we've gone over the same. I think I'm having deja vu right now of the same conversation you and I are having right now, because like 6 months ago probably, like
from day one,
so
a year ago. And to the development team's credit, man, they've been putting in work. They've been making changes. They've made the game better. They are, they're at their job, they're at their desk, they're at the computer, they're doing something. So they're not just like, they didn't abandon the game. They're obviously doing something, and it's been getting better incrementally all along. I would have to say that from then till now. They still have a ways to go, and I hope that we get there,
Yeah, I just feel that the pace is, it should be a little bit faster. But I agree with you. On a lot of aspects, the game has improved. At least quality of life for me, with all the time, like the little time that I have, it's made me think that, okay, I think I can continue playing the game, because it's not sucking my entire life now as they used to in 1.0. So, all right. All right, let's go. So let's talk about a few tanks here. I want to talk about the ones that I run, and it's the ones you guys mentioned here in the chat. So I'm running Frodo and Sam as one of my tanks. And the reason why I love Frodo and Sam as tanks, man, I said this earlier in a previous live stream. For me, I don't think there is a better synergized. There's a reason why I run Falcon as well, and he is in my main formation. But the reason why I love Frodo and Sam, to me, he has the most synergized skills for a tank. You look at him at R0. When you max this out, it's damage. You get 30% damage reduction, and at level 5 you get 5 extra defense. That might not be a lot for you guys, and it really isn't. But it's an additional skill that goes hand in hand with what he does. He's adding defense to his units, making them survive longer. Okay. At his R3 skill, which would be the last one that I would go for, at max level, it's 12 of defense for any of these 4 races: man, elves, dwarves, and hobbits, and it affects all 4 formations. If I had the cash, I would push Frodo to Zenith 6. Personally, I would. Are you serious? Is it worth it that much? It's because all these 3 trees are beautifully designed for a tank. Ring bearers, and I'll explain the R3 again in just a second. Ring bearers, 35% chance to evade madness. As a tank, you have the chance of every round probably evading 1 or 2 hits, because it's 35%, but all of the attacks from troops and commanders, normal attacks, if you're running Swan Knights, Ants, Great Beasts, or Mountain Trolls, is going to be directed at Frodo and Sam's formation. So the likelihood of you evading an attack is a lot higher, right? And then at level 10, an extra 5 of defense. So just from skills alone, if you got him at level 5, which my Frodo and Sam at respect 10 can get to, 5 levels here, 10 and 10, I'm already giving myself plus 6 of defense in another 10. So that's 16 defense that I'm getting just from the skills. Now, fellow, why would you go to Zenith 6 on Frodo and Sam? Because of this 10% extra HP. All 3 skills are beautifully synergized. Remember Sunan 1.0, how OP she was? And it was because, to me, as an evil player, her skills was one of the best, the most synergized skills back in classic Rise to War. As a tank, as his role calls, he is a tank. These 3 skill trees, to me, are one of the best synergized ones for a tank. That is why I would push him to Z6. I mean, if you guys look at some of the reports we had from a previous season, I had reports where Frodo and Sam had lost 1/20th of life throughout the entire fight, fighting big, heavy damage dealers. Dane, Bjorn, all those formations, and Frodo and Sam were just like a wall. Everybody else around, and the other 3 formations were almost dead. Frodo and Sam had almost 100% of their life still, because how well he does his job. Now, I also, like I said, I run Falcon is my main tank, but I can switch on and off between both of them because I am using the same gear for both of them. I'm going a very defensive set. Also on the gear set because
what's the total defense you get to with that?
I think I got my Swan Eyes to like 260 defense.
Wow.
Yep.
He never dies, right?
Nope. Neither does Falcon because this is the thing. He doesn't have the skill like Frodo does of 30% damage. But that's what his unique does for him. His unique at fully refined will reduce the damage received by this formation's melee units. So running him as a tank, I'm gonna choose a melee unit. And
what's the command total?
The beautiful 671.
Nice.
The beautiful thing about his unique is that it's not race restricted for him. It just says melee unit. So I can run any tanky melee that the unique activates. And for every dwarf in my formation, I get an extra, when it's fully refined, plus 6% of damage reduction. So just from my relic, I can get 24% damage reduction, which is pretty close to Frodo and Sam's 30%. Okay,
who was it that pointed out all these synergies a while back? We were in a chat with. Who was that guy? I forgot.
Don't remember. Between who?
You know what I'm talking about. He was harping on this guy the whole conversation. Remember?
I can't remember now.
One of our podcasts. I don't know.
He was talking good about Falcon. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you don't remember what I'm talking about?
No idea.
Man, we haven't had a podcast in a while, I would guess. That's like, I don't know what happened to that show.
Now we're getting it back. I told everybody last week. So we're getting we're getting the daily live streams going every day now. And as that gets going, then we're gonna have the Commander roundtables and some other stuff. So I don't remember his name though. But so the reason why I run Falcon as a tank instead of Frodo is because I'm already getting 24% damage reduction, crazy amounts of reduction from the unit defense, and the crazy command, 40% damage reduction just from the command here, is because he basically is a White Council and tank at the same time. Thrine's Guard, what's up, 2 steps? So Thrine's Guard at level 10, 30% damage reduction to 3 dwarfs, right? So now Falcon is not running a dwarf, but I'm running 3 dwarfs on my other unit, on my other formation. So that means I'm getting 24% for myself and giving up to like 65 damage reduction to then my other formations. So it's basically making my entire formation very, very tanky for the first few rounds, right? And then I don't run Durin's Blood on him. I would run 1 just for the extra White Council in case I need it. But other than that, I will run Ered Luin. That will give my commander and my formation more defense. 1 fully maxed plus 2 HP. And then Musician at level 5, which is usually what I run, I give a little bit of healing and then purifies a debuff that I may have. That's how I run him. But he is a beautiful tank, guys, because his unique synergizes pretty well with what you can do. Now, you can run him with ranged, but if you guys seen the reports from last season, Falcon has been a tremendous tank for my main formation.
You know,
Go ahead.
You're all in this good account of yours. I see you're all in. You're really, you're getting it together these days. I see now.
Oh yeah, baby. Yeah. So
yeah, you're probably having the results and fights, so it's inspiring you. It's good to see.
Yeah, man. You're gonna see a lot of this account next season, Jax.
Well, that account better be
you know where it's gonna be.
Yeah, all right.
I'm excited for the things coming though for the Pirates next season.
Yes, we're gonna finally merge. It's been a couple seasons that we've been getting wrecked, son, by the developers and by 2.0, and Lord, we've been getting wrecked. We're a shell of what we used to be, but we're gonna merge next season and come back strong and get back to doing the wrecking instead of getting wrecked.
Yep. Yep, it's good. No, it's a learning experience, so it's gonna be good. All right, so a third tank that you guys mentioned here. So let's go over. I don't have Undyne on this account, so I can show him in just a second on the map. But let's go over. Let's go over really quick Isildur. Isildur, honestly, I know some people use him. I am hesitant to, use him myself. You guys know that on my other account, I have him pretty souped up. And I'm going to try him again to be able to give you guys reports.
How many accounts are you still running now?
I have 3.
Oh, so you got two goods and one evil? 2
goods and 1 evil, yep.
So you're really like a good player these days, it appears.
No, I mean, just not necessarily, but
no, I think that's pretty spot on what I said.
you will find out.
I was run my good account and my evil account at the same time, like I used to do. Ooh, that'd be bad.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I got a couple things under my sleeve. That's why I'm able to run those. And I'll explain that offline for you later.
That's fine.
So it's still.
Hopefully next season we can, when it's all said and done, we can meet somewhere in an alley and we can fight again and we'll
go at each other. Yeah, we'll see. That's gonna be fun. 2.0, Fellow and Jack's going at each other is gonna be a fun one.
I've been missing this account of yours. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it again.
Sweet, let's go. All right, so Isildur here. I'm not as confident to say. I mean, I tested him last season, and because I was getting so good results with Frodo and Sam, I benched him. But in theory, what I said a while back in my Discord was that Isildur is one of the guys that, depending what campaign you're playing, he's a very decent tank, and he's also a very decent offensive commander, right? If you're playing TE, for example, running him with Grey King and King of the Dunedain can be very good if you're running the Wossis archers, right? I've seen people pop over 100k damage with those troops in TE, specifically in TE. And if you're not, then you might be running a more defensive build. And he has Ring Bearers, which is the same skill that Frodo has in his R5, 35% chance to evade damage. And he has a pretty gnarly last alliance skill. Used to be the damage mitigation skill from 1.0 that would give your entire squad 50. Would give 50 defense to 3 ally formations. I apologize, not to your entire squad. But then it's increases at level 5. Increases the instances to 10. So every time you get hit, the defense gets chipped away. I'm not the biggest fan of this skill. Considering that Frodo and Sam has a very strong defensive skill, this could work. It's just I haven't seen it shine like I have in other formations. But then again, Frodo and Sam is also not giving the other troops, the other units and commanders 50% of defense. So it's something that you guys have to look into, and love to see some reports. Something we do miss a lot in all Discords, to be honest with you guys. Every Discord that I'm a part of, and I'm not going to name them because you guys know the main ones. In the reports tab, I still see people chatting, even having banter in reports, but not sharing reports. Share reports. We can only find out if things are working. If you guys are sharing those reports, we need to see them. Okay?
Hold on now. I gotta be like the counterpoint to what you're saying. Number one, there's a lot less activity than before. Number two, you kind of disappeared there for a while, and you're the king of the kingdom, and you gotta kind of be the one in there keeping everything active and going, and that means you have to be active and going. And,
oh no, for sure, I understand. I've been the last couple of weeks. I think I've been pretty active. I'm posting reports and conversations left and right on my own Discord, but I'm saying. I'm saying in overall Discords, the big ones that everybody's in. There's still very little. So guys, we only have today. We have 20 people watching, and it's fine. I'm doing this live stream for you, the 20 people that are watching. But whenever you guys have some good fights and some bad fights, because people tend to only show the good stuff, when they're winning. But you don't actually really learn from the reports that you're winning. You learn from the ones that you lose, so you know what to change to improve. So share those reports. It doesn't matter where. I check all of them. So whenever you guys have a good fight during your season, share those reports where people can learn from what you guys are doing. Okay? So Isildur, for example, is one that I can't yet. I know some people use them and they probably do well, but because I've seen better results. Tank? Yes.
No, you use him as a troop commander, not a
because I've seen him. I mean, for most of the time, yes, that is true. But because I personally haven't seen Isildur shine like Frodo and Sam or Falcon have. I can't yet name him. Like put him at the top list for me, at least for me.
Catch up on the chat real quick. There's a few questions.
Let's see.
Is Two Steps in here?
Yeah, Two Steps is here.
Two Steps, is your season with Eudes finished already? Did you guys?
It finished.
Got the ring, and it's just been boring all along, or what?
I mean, yeah. I'll let him answer. But yes.
Is that where this account's at right now?
Yeah, that's where it was. It's in back again now, but it was.
Now I see.
Server ended day 5. You
got a ring finally, so you got all this.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. The season ended in day 5, Jax.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm not even joking. It's like day 5. The season was done.
If Eudes is that strong, then you might have that become a reoccurring theme where people just either you wreck them or they won't fight you.
Yeah. But the thing is, I think it's true. Eudes is a very strong NRP team. But I also think that the teams in the season wasn't full of competitive, even like smaller team, but just people that were willing to, like, hey, we might lose our capital, but we're gonna fight you guys. We only had one kingdom that was willing to do that, but then when they saw the powerhouse that Eudes was, it wasn't. They just stopped, and it's unfortunate. I hope there would have been a little more active, honestly.
Eudes, I love this team. That's the homies over there, man. They put Gaia down. They gave Gaia what they had coming back a few seasons ago. So I love them for that. Because they've been avoiding us. We can't ever catch them. Every time we try and get together with them, they back out. So seems to me that Gaia and others that I've spoken to, and this is just our opinions, but they really just want preset, prearranged, guaranteed wins or some kind of situation like that. They don't want to not win or have an easy fight, or at least that's what's been happening. So it's kind of a shame.
All right, let's see. Aquatic Dawn. So how was the season 1 of the 2.0 garbage? How bad is season 1?
What?
No, are you talking about season 1 as in season 1, or the first season after 2.0?
Yeah, he's talking about 2.0. Dude, that's like how many months ago was this? Where's this guy been at? He came out from under the rock. It was great. I mean, it was actually surprisingly refreshing and well liked by the people that are still playing and play it currently. It sucks what happened, and it seems so long ago, but most of us, I think it's fair to say, are enjoying it and like it because we're still here. So, yeah. What do you think, Anthony?
So, I think people are enjoying it. I think there are some crucial elements that are keeping people from actually, saying, look, I actually am liking this. And I think it's still the fact that commanders are a little bit stale at the moment. A lot of very, like you said, very unusable or unused or not even use worthy commanders really. Like why
it's kind of, it's like counterintuitive, isn't it? Because the idea was to make all of them viable, and it appears with most of the commanders, the skills, like there's something there, and then you try them and there's nothing there, right?
Exactly.
It's
like,
so people turned into this like 5 or 6 commanders on both sides. That's mandatory meta to use these guys to be top tier optimized and have the best success. So then it's worse than it used to be, because it used to be, okay, there was what, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10 maybe on both sides that people were using. and now it's like no, it's half of that. So I think maybe it's gotten worse in that regard.
Yep. Yo, we got Avila in the house here in the chat. Good to see you. See what does Avila.
Vampire woke up.
She might not unmute herself. Maybe she's working.
There
you go.
Yeah, I'm muted. I literally just got home like
she was at
5
the
minutes
bar.
ago.
Nah, no worries. I'm glad you made it here.
With her getting drunk with all of her homeboys.
I was working.
You were out there making bad decisions. Don't lie.
I literally just got home from work. Don't try me.
all right. you can be chill there. All right, so we got just a new subscriber on the channel here. I appreciate that, brother. And he has a question: is Shadow a good damage dealer?
Yes.
100% yes.
Yes.
100% yes.
Yes. buy into Shadow and Lurtz all day long if you're evil.
Yep. T2's the best T2s on evil side. Go for them for sure. 2 steps that people are taking screenshots too much work nowadays. I mean, it definitely is, but I gotta save some, man. Gotta save
hilarious.
some. Evan 2101, not sure. So Rage is all Evan 2101, Jax. If you don't know, in the chat here on the stream, he is the leader of Rage. He's the leader of Rage in the game. So
yeah, I know who Evan is.
So
you gotta figure out more because I haven't played this season, but you gotta figure out get all the nominees for the award show, man, because the season's only got a few weeks left, and you gotta have a season-ending show. So you're gonna have to get with some people.
Let's do it
right away.
Skinny Kid, any comments to the new marching system? I've only been playing on it on my free-to-play account that I started for the purpose of this new series. So there are a lot of good things. I like not having to tile on one level tiles to get to my level 90 or 130 that I want to. That is very nice. Making this so it's more realistic now. Whenever you want to get to a place and has a river, you have to go around it unless you have flying units. I personally don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. The issue that I do have is, how playable will reinforcement be, in a full out battle? And I don't know. I'm not going to give you guys an answer because I haven't played a full on battle on the 2.0 marching system. And I remember since the game launched, every time something different was implemented, the first reaction was, oh, this sucks. And even if we didn't even try it, I remember when Isildur and Sunan came out, because somebody got Sunan very quickly and she was level 25 and she was taking out level 50s and she was only like RS3. People are like, oh, they brought out this OP good evil commander and Isildur sucks. People that took the time to invest on Isildur, they saw that Isildur was an amazing commander in 1.0. So I don't judge things until I try this, like healing. Until 2 weeks ago, and I don't think anybody can deny this. Before two weeks ago, when we started showing healing reports, people were like, oh, healing is done in 2.0. Healing sucks, right? And as you guys been seeing, healing doesn't suck. It's just you have to think around how you build around the healing. I'm not trying to say that it's OP. I enjoy it. You guys know that I like healing formation, so I'm gonna continue investing on those heroes. But I will play it next season with my team here, and then I'll be able to give you a better opinion, Skinny Kid. But I appreciate the question. I don't think it's all bad. I do know that people have been saying, let me look at the map here. The way that the map is set up, that the team that really gets to Dol Guldur first right now basically has an easy time defending. That's what I was told, because of how you gotta go over cross scenes and how the siege is working, which I don't fully understand yet. I hope they fix something related to that, but
2 Steps was telling me about that. It's like totally broken. You can't take time. I don't know. It seems totally bad. Let him explain it here. Let him talk and explain it. Tell him to come on the live in the voice. Explain how bad it is.
So I think there are a lot of points to that need to be fixed, but I think the idea is, it's something different. the tire wars, it was a fine thing, you push people back and forth, but hopefully
He was saying that.
Go ahead.
He was saying that you take a tile, and then you have to defend it for 5 minutes.
Yep. There's a cooldown. There's a cooldown.
It's totally broken. Like,
yeah. Some things are pretty ridiculous. Some things that they added.
It sounded like it. Sounded totally broken.
So what happened? So one thing was when you're sieging, that the same thing was happening. People were sending armies there, and whenever people were about to take a keep or something, still had the cooldown. Yeah. So you just bombard their siege on it, and if if you remove the last or the first hero that was there, it resets that timer every time.
Oh my God.
So people couldn't take a key for like 12 hours because people would just reset that 5-minute timer over and over and over again. So there's a lot of things that need fixing there, but I think the idea is fun. We'll just find out how they can make it better, But I think it's gonna be fun.
My suggestion would be like, let a motherfucker reinforce, like, or change his army comp. Like, come on, bro, you got to march all the way home and come all the way back. Just change it, or put the level. It's just, come on now.
See, that's what I have that on my list to send to the devs. Is if you're not gonna let people change troops in the middle of the battle, at least let them change commanders and troops in forts.
And maybe like or something, right? Because it seems like they're going so hard in the off the deep end for this new strategy approach, right? Well, come on, that's strategy 101. Like, you need to be able to change your troop comp.
Yeah, that's one of the worst things I hate about Super. It's like you can't remove a commander, you can't change your troop, you can't change your commander like you could in 1.0. That is something that I love. That, if they're not gonna let you do it open in the battlefield, okay, but at least let me do it in my forts. Don't make me go all the way back to my settlements.
Yes, it's retarded. And then like the PvP, I love and I hate that the PvP or the leveling stops at 40 and begins at 40. You have to PvP to go from 40 to 50, right? That's great, but I think that's hurting the free-to-play players or the low-spending community out there a lot, because they unless they find the exact right matchups of their comparable level, they're just getting kind of left behind. And maybe you should change that to 45 to 50 or something like that. What's his name?
How do you guys feel? You guys, some of you guys have played 1 or 2 seasons already with the leveling up through PvP. Do you guys think it would be that bad to looking back now, if you could still get scrolls up to level 50 or mock battle? Do you think it would make a whole load difference?
No, they had to change it, because everyone was just like, Loth would be power leveling on Eagles, and you'd be level 40, whatever, and you'd be running into 48s, 49s all day long against Loth. No, that had to be changed. I just think maybe the bar needs to be raised a wee bit, maybe to 45 for these free to plays.
Yeah, maybe I agree. Maybe level 45.
It had to change. I don't know what the right solution is, but it had to change.
Yeah. Okay. I can go with that. I mean, I remember not liking people never helping in PvP because I got to level to 50 first, So
yeah, exactly.
Pushes people a little bit more. Look, you're done. You're at 40 now. Go to the front line. But maybe I do hear you. The grind from level 40 to 50 is quite crazy in PvP, especially if you are a low spender. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, what he's saying is, though, there's no way around that. What Kappa Rage is saying, there's no way around that. Here you are. We're in what season is this? Is this 12 or 13?
For some, might be even 14. I don't know.
So you're whatever 12, 13, 14 seasons in, right? Mm-hmm. You've got people that have played this game for 10 plus seasons that are going to be able to, even, I don't know, maybe not the hardcore free to play player, but very low spending players that in 10, 11, 12 seasons by now, they're going to be able to make one really good formation with really good gear. And there's just no way around that for a basic zero spending player, like somebody that's never spent any money. he will always get wrecked in any game that's 10 or 12 seasons in. He's just going to get wrecked unless he absolutely is very, very like diligent on choosing the right fights, because people been around, they've been putting these commanders and their gear and the formations together forever. So
Yep,
everybody's
that's
going
true.
to have one solid, and even more so for people that are spenders, they're definitely going to have and be able to put together one great formation, like, you know, one meta great formation they're going to be able to trot out at all times.
That is a good point, Jax. But you know, I think
no way
let's
around
see. Let's see.
Nothing you can do for somebody that's no money, spent no money 10, 11, 12 seasons in. There's nothing you can do. I don't care what game they go play. If there's money involved, it's going to be the same situation. They're going to get just wrecked, son. I mean,
Yeah, maybe I like that idea. If you maybe increase the cap from 42, 44, 45. And let's people, especially free to play, feel like they're able to contribute a little bit more. I think I would like that, because I mean, from 40 to 50 is such a drag. Oh.
Yeah, that was too much, man. It was burning people out bad. Like,
definitely,
it was just
definitely
too much, bro. It's just too much. So I love it. And I love all things about it, but community, thinking of the community at large, some kind of, I don't know what the solution is.
For you being one of the big spenders, everything will benefit you at the end, right? But I get what you're saying. Thinking of everybody, everybody as a whole, definitely. It would be nice if something would change.
It's like one of those things I'm talking about. All along, the developers, if you've been here from season 1 till now, the game has changed so much, and mostly for the better all along. Like I said, the devs are putting in work. They're doing their job. They are changing it for the better. It's a slow, incremental gains here, but things are progressing slowly but surely. So you continue to have faith in them.
Yep. Yeah, I'm hopeful. Or I mean, either two things. I'm hopeful or crazy. We'll see. We'll see at the end the answer to that.
And it even gets worse when this guy Skinny is talking about, or some of these guys in chat are talking about, going up against the spenders and the hitters, or whales, whatever. Well, I'm sorry, but that's going to be the case in any game you play this many seasons in, and it's even worse exponentially, because all of the good players start to group up for survival and by necessity, but also for better chances at winning over time in games like this. Any mobile game like this, in time, everybody just groups up, and there's just all these players gravitate to one group or warband or fellowship, and they're all on the same teams or warbands or whatever, and they're all running together, and that's just the way it is, man. That's just the way it works.
You've been around in a mobile game like this for a while, right? So you know how the terrain is, how the systems work. Like I said, for me, this is my first time playing a mobile game like this, so it took me quite a bit of time to really get over the idea of what you just explained. I was pretty upset, early in the first year when I found out this. Like, man, I came here for Lord of the Rings and I'm getting this. But after you understand and you kind of just, you kind of give in, you're like, it is what it is. Things end up getting better. But one thing that I do want to say here, on that note of, free to play, low sprinters hitting whales. At least when you guys, whenever we're talking in my Discord and in my live streams and in my videos, I want you guys to understand this core principle here. I remember sharing this a couple weeks back in my Discord or in a group, saying, I think the devs made this game too free to play friendly, and I don't think they intended to do that.
It is. It's actually. And anybody that's played a bunch of other mobile games, pay to win mobile games, can tell you the same, that this is the most free to play friendly game I've ever played, bro. And also, it's actually the lowest amount of investment to be good than other games too, because other mobile games are coming out with, the meta formation right now is whatever, Gandalf the White, Dane, Bjorn, and pick a good fourth. right? And that's it, right? That's it. There's nothing else that beats everything. It's God tier. But in other games, they're coming out with a new Gandalf the White, a new Bjorn, a new Dane level type God tier commander every fucking season, bro. That you got to go buy and invest in, or he's gonna wreck last season's Gandalf the White, Bjorn, Dane, whatever fourth Metacom, because they make them even stronger. It's like this never-ending loop where if you're not getting the new best in slot, whatever gear and commanders that come out every season, well, it doesn't matter what you had last season, you're getting wrecked.
Exactly.
So you guys may have not played other mobile games, you may not know, but for those of you that have, I'm telling you, this is one of the best for, return on investment long term ROI. I can't remember the last new commander that came out besides Bard, to be honest.
Exactly. Well, so with that in mind, so this is what I wanted to say. When we talk about builds for lower spenders, free to play, we're not trying to give you. I'm not gonna give you guys formations that is gonna go head to head with a whale, and you're gonna even draw equally. The idea is to give you guys the builds that are give you the best results for, especially your own level of fighting. But if you're gonna hit a whale, you're probably gonna feel proud because like, man, this guy probably has 150,000 invested on his account. I have, a couple seasons pass, and I still took 1/10 of his health. This is something that because you gotta look at the level of spending of whoever you're fighting. And so the idea is to give you guys the best results possible for your level of commanders. And I really hope that players, because over and over and over again, the reports that I have been shared, or I've seen discussions in the groups, whenever I posted something that it was, I was testing an R3 something, and I hit a whale, and I'm like, wow, I took 1/4 of his life, and I'm running R3 commanders, And I shared this with groups. Just say, look how well this low spending formation did. People are like, well, but you're using this, or yeah, but look at the troop. Like, hey, dude, like, understand my level of player. I gotta be smart with who I run. So
yeah,
you got if I'm not gonna win, in the battle, let me hurt his resources a little bit. Let me hurt his whatever I can as at my level of investment spend. You can do well, but we have to change the mentality now that we're gonna. Hey, I'm gonna give you the best low spending formation, and then you hit somebody big. You're like, well, this formation sucks because I didn't do what I was hoping for. But dude, you're hitting a guy that has Zenith 12 commanders and gold everywhere. What's your expectation of a win?
So, but there's so much more to the big picture here. If you're free to play, these people you're talking about, you want to be on a team that's a good team, and then you want to find other areas you can go excel in to help your team, like tiling or taking resources or whatever it is, because there's so much that goes into these games, this game, and the battle overall, like the war, like you're fighting whoever you're fighting. There's so much that goes into it other than just one whale destroying you. Like there's so much other stuff that you can go do to be effective for your team that helps your team overall win the battle, which wins the war, right? Like there's a lot you can do and a lot of fun to be had. And you could play the game as free to play, no problem, and have a great time. You just got to find your niche, get on a good team, and know your role, right?
Yep. Exactly. Ombra made a pretty good analogy. He said, if you play a football match against Cristiano Ronaldo, even if he beats you 10-1, you are still proud of having at least scored a goal against someone so much stronger. That's a pretty good analogy, Ombra. Kudos to you, brother.
No. If I'm playing Cristiano Ronaldo and we playing 1-on-1, I'm finna kick that fool in the nuts. He ain't scoring shit, bro. I ain't finna get 10-1, 10-0. I'm gonna get a red card and be out the game. I'm gonna take his ass down. That's the end of that story.
Whatever I gotta do. All right,
He
so
on his way out, one way or another. He on his way out.
all right, so since Bjorn is here, I told you guys yesterday I was gonna start a new recruitment section during the live stream. So yesterday we talked about Axe. Axe was the group that is recruiting. Now, the group. Let me just have a look here. Just give me a second here, guys. So Bjorn the Kraken, the leader of
Krakens.
the Crack family, yeah, they are recruiting. They are looking for whales that are active. Crack is a family clan, but we can use more whales. We already have a solid team and a good front line. We can use a little bit more power. So if you guys are interested in joining or having a conversation with their leaders, I'm gonna send in the chat here the link to Crack's Discord.
Crack, you need to merge with us, man. That's what you need to do.
So you guys can contact Bjorn the Kraken inside the Discord I just sent to you guys in the chat here, and you guys can see if you guys are fit for their team. Every single live that we do, and looking for every single video that we do, I'm gonna have a little recruitment section. You guys can show, and we're gonna get better at this. Okay, we're gonna get better at this. Gonna do little videos and stuff for your guys' own at recruitment, because we want to find ways that we can help the communities, the teams, to continue being, to grow and to be able to stay long term. Okay, it's one of the things that we're trying to do for the community. All right.
We trying to stay RP for life, homie. As long as we can be RP, we gonna be RP. We'll get to NRP when they force us.
Yeah.
Till then, we don't want no part of that.
Yeah.
That shit, it look boring as fuck, man. Just hit Gandalf, fight Dane, Bjorn, 99%.
I told Two Steps this. I think I told in the youth Discord this earlier, that I don't like NRP because of the stale meta. It's ridiculous. Everybody's trying to run the top 4 or 5, and there's nothing else. There's nothing else out there. So
nothing. I know.
So
what fun is?
I've played NRP. One of my accounts for sure is gonna stay in NRP for the time being, but it hurts. NRP. I hope NRP. I mean, I guess it's not on the players. It's mostly on the lack of higher level commanders that that compete with the meta. But I'm glad to say that I'm still running off meta commanders. And I don't remember if unless I was testing stuff, I don't remember losing a fight last season. Even fighting against my own team players, if I was, like I said, unless I wasn't testing, I don't remember getting wrecked by the NRP meta formations with my off meta stuff. So
NRP can be fun, and it's competitive as fuck, and everybody's like super optimized and a lot of big strong teams and all that, but I like to be able to kind of what you're talking about, be able to run different things and be able to have it be a different environment altogether. And probably we'll all get forced to NRP eventually anyway, it appears. But I don't like the fact that if you're RP, and you don't have to, but if you're a competitive player, a competitive team, then you're gonna kind of have to invest more money and get these whatever other side, good or evil, depending on what you are, these meta comms to augment what you have going on with your good or evil side formations, or you're not going to be competitive, or you're not going to be top tier, and that's frustrating, having invested enough already that you want to just play the game now and not have to go and then invest again in whatever. If you're evil, you got to go get whatever Gandalf, White, Dane, Bjorn, whoever, right? If you're good side, you got to go get whatever Sauron, whatever, whoever you want, whatever. It's just, it seems to me that it's a money grab, from the developers, and it's an unfortunate one. It should just be left the way it is and let people choose or whatever. But the problem with that is, if you're talking to them, well, you got half of the community never playing together with the other half, which is not going to work long term either. So I don't know.
That is why I've even though I played NRP last season, I didn't go for any evil side commanders, because even if one day everybody gets pushed NRP, I'm still going to use only my good side commanders. Even if I get hurt by it, I don't care. I like the idea of keeping my account separate, just for the sake of, like I said, I like the whole lore, and that is one of the reasons why I like RP.
Yeah.
I like the division of lore. I like that. I mean, I can play as the evil and fight against the good, and I can play as the good and fight against the evil. I just like that difference.
I do too. And it was such a shock when this whole NRP thing came about. It was really it was a letdown, because I feel like most people think the same way and enjoy that good versus evil and all that flavor or whatever. So it was a big letdown, man.
Yeah. So
you can go, like Thorne said, Crack. Of course, you can go over there and keep whatever. If you're an evil player, keep your evil commanders and not get nothing good, and go play and have fun and be successful. I'm not discounting that. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying, if you're very competitive, like I'm very competitive.
Like Jack's here.
I'm gonna be fucking. Here I go. I got to go get this guy and that guy and all their gear, and all. It's just too much, man.
It is.
Too much.
I think
if I knew this game had 1 million players and was like, Call of Duty level, whatever, interest, then okay, maybe. I know it's going to be here forever. I know that I'm always going to have a great game to play. It's going to be just franchise after franchise after franchise, whatever. I'm a little bit unsure about this. I think it's a good game. I think it's going to last. I think the Lord of the Rings tie-in is very strong if they just make the right decisions and keep bettering the game as they've been doing slowly over time. But it isn't Call of Duty level for me, so I don't want to go and have to do that. But that's just me personally.
Yeah, I know. But we everybody's gonna enjoy watching Jax open 10,000 Mathams to get Dane and Gandalf the White and Bjorn to Z6 in his first season. I for sure will be excited to watch that.
No.
We will live stream it, and so we're all gonna be excited for that.
I'm actually
The
gonna
live stream is gonna take like 10 hours.
No worries.
Yeah,
I'll happily watch it. I'll happily host it, actually.
I'm actually gonna be diverting some of my time and attention to a new game that's coming out.
I know. It's in the works. Is it the one we talked about?
Yeah, Dune Awakening.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it. So that's gonna take my attention away from this game. I'll probably still keep the one rotation. I'll play a season, take a season off, and hopefully keep that up. But we'll see, because that's going to be a big game, and I'm excited for it. So
sweet, good stuff, man. All right, guys, let's go. Go ahead.
Tell us what you got into last night at the bar, Vila. You was creeping in the darkness. Tell us some stories.
You talking about Avila?
I haven't done anything bad. I literally stayed home and watched Rizzoli and Isles all last night.
I see you already had your excuse ready. You thought it out. I see.
I haven't gone to a bar in like 3 months.
Oh, is that right? Man, that's awful. You got to get out there. Oof.
No, because we like house parties more.
Yeah, that works. You got a studio though, right? Or a 1-bedroom, Finland?
Yeah, studio.
Oh, that doesn't work that well for house parties.
No, but I have friends.
So two steps said to say RP has more variety than RP is not really true. See, I agree. It doesn't have more variety, but because the two sides are separate, it forces you to be creative with what you have.
Well, okay, so maybe you misunderstood what I was trying to say. There isn't more variety because technically there's more variety, or I'm sorry. Technically, there could be more variety in RP because you can play both sides at the same time. What I was saying, though, is the reality is in RP, you encounter more variety. Not that it's possible to create more variety, you just encounter more of it, and it's more allowed, like it's more, tolerated or whatever. It's more that you're going to run across it. You'll see it more. You can do it more. You can RG more, you know.
Fighting
like it's
RP,
possible.
fighting RP,
RP.
fighting Iron and Rage this season. I've seen a lot more difference in formations than I've seen before. So let me give you some examples. I obviously everybody is running the main damage dealers: King of Man,
Yeah.
Dane, Bjorn. But I've seen formations with Gil in the mix, Galadriel in the mix. I've seen formations with Gimli in the mix. I've seen formations with Isildur in the mix. I've seen formations with. I mean, not saying you should run this, but I've
I don't
seen
know.
with Legolas and other stuff.
Yeah, I
Where
don't know that Iron is the correct example of us encountering variety because they're pretty much cookie cutter, same meta formation across the board. But in general, you will encounter much more variety, and it's just a funner and fresher experience. You know,
The
than
best
NRP,
thing-
which is very competitive, and it's like either you do this or you're dead because that's the reality. And I don't know. I mean, if it's fun for you and you enjoy it, like you said, two steps, then great, do it. If it's not fun and you don't like running into the same 99.9% of the time in every single fight, well, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Like for real, like the best thing that I've seen the whole season, like this season, has been a Zenith Aragorn, like the tier 2 version, the Strider one.
Yeah. How many times are you going to see that in RP? Not very
Which
often.
coincidentally is like the player called Strider has that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Nice.
I mean,
That's-
it fits. It's perfect. It was amazing to run into. Actually, I loved it.
for
Yeah.
me personally,
Yeah.
the main reason to like RP is just like the name says, it's a role play. That's the biggest thing for me.
Right. Yeah,
So-
it is. But it's strange because you would think from what the devs perspective, or at least that's what they're telling us, is make all commanders great again. It would seem like they want the variety too, because they've made all these changes, and it seems like on paper, looking at, if you remember when you first logged into 2.0 and you started to do your gear and you started looking at all the commanders and you're like, wow, and you're looking through all these commanders like, this guy could be really good, or look at all these guys' new skills, and wow, this guy, what's the potential here, But then when you try it out, it's not that. It sucks. And you get back to the same, whatever 6 or 7 commanders that you have to use that are actually viable and perform. So
Mhm.
I don't understand it. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what in the future holds. Hopefully, we get some some things, some more commanders worked up, and people start investing in these things. And this is why, guys. Okay, don't forget. This is why it's so important, at least for me, that you guys, you guys subscribe, you guys like the video, and if you guys are still spinning in the game, use my top up link. You guys know that all the money that I get from those top ups, those top up links, goes directly back into the account. So you guys know that I'm focusing on building Skirdan and Radagast now for some more healing stuff. So if you guys do spend, please consider using the link. All right, so let's just finish covering some of the things, and I gotta go. I said we're gonna go 30 minutes, and it's an hour and 30 already. All right, so let's do this, and we're gonna be back tomorrow again. Don't forget, we're back tomorrow, so you guys come back 8:30 tomorrow. We're gonna have some more fun here. So the main role of the tank is to soak up damage. Okay, so if none of you guys run any of those guys, all right, so tanks, you're gonna soak up all the damage. Most likely you will not do damage yourself. So if you're running Frodo, Falcon, if some want to use Isildur, these guys are soaking up all the damage. So more likely you're running a type of troop that will protect the other ones. If not, then if you're not gonna run something like Swan Knights, Great Beasts, Trolls, or Ents, one way that you can tank the damage, some of the damage, is by running a melee unit and then running ranged at the back, because they also deviate some melee damage, or all the melee damage from the units, right? Now, besides, go ahead.
It looks like this guy, I could be wrong, but he looks different than he used to. It looks like he lost weight. He must be on that Ozempic, huh?
Is that Radagast you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's all those berries, man.
He definitely looked like he lost some weight, got skinnier, doesn't he?
I don't know.
He got that Ozempic. Definitely.
All right, so besides that, let's go to our healers. Healers, the way I like to play some of my healers is I run them tanks and healers at the same time. So for example, you guys saw last season, I ran Círdan. And the reason, so some of the healers that have those self-inflicting heals, like Scholar, the Scholar skill that Galadriel and both Círdan have, every round they heal 150 HP modified by focus. The nice thing about them is level 5 and level 10, they get an extra, a little bit of defense, which makes Círdan even tankier. I ran him as my tank because he would heal every single round. He would heal himself every single round. And the other nice thing is, if you get his relic, in his case, he will heal himself for the first 5 rounds, 150 HP, and if you're fighting on crossings, then that will last the whole round. Not every healing commander has this. So Galadriel has the same ability. She heals herself twice every single round. Let's see who else. Radagast is a little bit more niche because he needs to have beasts in order to heal himself, but he does have a pretty good healing on it. It's 180% every round, but you have to be running beasts. I hope to get this relic for myself sometime soon. The interesting thing is Thranduil can be used as a tank and healer. I mean, he kind of becomes a good tank because he's a healer, because he doesn't have any defensive skills that are very good, like are necessarily good. 20% chance of evading damage. I think 20%. Actually, this might not be a bad option. Okay, theory crafting time here, guys. I'm thinking here, this actually might be a good one if you run him as a tank with elves in the front. Is that ideal? I don't know. Don't quote me on this. Just thinking here. Possibly could work. But the reason why he becomes a good tank is because he has a high chance of healing himself twice every time they do a specific type of attack, right? So he becomes a good tank because he's a healer. But other than that, I wouldn't use him as a tank. He doesn't have skills of a tank unless it's these two and possibly this one. But I think they're minor. These two, if I was running elves, I'd probably try these two for next season, which I might try for you guys to have a look. Okay? So that's what healers will primarily heal your. It's pretty indicative, right? Let's see who else we have as healer. He has a healing skill. King of the Dead has also a healing skill. Elwyn has a healing skill. And who else? Gandalf the Grey has a healing skill as well. And we know Galadriel has one of them. Okay. The top 3 healers, though, for good side at least, you have Radagast, Galadriel, and Círdan. These are the top 3 healers. On the evil side, you have Undying is the top one. I don't know if he's a top one in terms of stats, but I think he is at one of the very top ones. Sunin can also heal pretty well. I'll name those 2 because those are 2 that I know for sure are very, very good healers. Yes, that's true. Imrahil, Denethor also have healing skills, and you have Dwalin, Ori, and Falcon also have healing skills. But what I'm trying to point out here in this case is commanders that are primarily healers. Okay, we have hybrids, which is, I guess, could be like a 7th role, but I'm pointing out the ones that are primarily the healers that have at least 2 skills that will heal. So you got the likes of Galadriel, you got the likes of Radagast, of Círdan. I see anybody else that is primarily a healer? I don't think so. Everybody else has a healing skill, but I wouldn't put them in that category of being a healer. Maybe the other one that would possibly be, what's his face again? Balin. Balin has 2 skills that have some kind of healing, but he heals his own troops only. So I still wouldn't call him a healer. He has healing skills, but he's not a healer. So that's not a role. Okay, that's what I mean by role. Oh, there you go. Arwen is a healer. I would put her in the healer / hybrid role. She has 1 healing skill, and her unique also helps with the healing, although I don't think it's great. Okay, then you have your supports. Supports in my positioning. Yes, I mentioned Sunin just a little bit ago. Thank you for that, though. So supports, the way I categorize it, are commanders that will support your units by either giving you evasion, some kind of a benefit to survive. Okay? That's how I would put it to explain to you guys. So we have our pretty, obvious ones. The top of the list would be your Gandalf the White. Okay, with White Council. And, and the thing is, let me go back a little. Support doesn't only mean troops, right? For example, White Council gives everybody, damage mitigation. White Rider boosts damage that, the enemy receives. It's not only targeted at the units. That's why I wouldn't class him as a troop commander, because he's buffing the entire formation. Okay? That's how actually I would put it better. When he buffs the entire formation or gives some kind of benefit to the entire formation, not just the units. Let's see who else has Gandalf. Gandalf the White also has the support skill from White Council, and he also has some healing. That's kind of crazy. Let's see, there's some other supports that maybe are primary supports. I would call Falcon a tank/support because he also has his own version of White Council. Let's see. No, this I would call a troop commander. I wouldn't call him a support. I would call it. So I might be wrong in my categorizing here, but I would probably categorize Isildur more of a support/troop commander than anything else. So possibly a hybrid between those two. Here he buffs, he gives defense on round 1. He buffs units here, and then he gives the entire formation defense. So I would call him, he's kind of a crazy hybrid in my opinion. But you got some more of those examples. And so like I said, support are the commanders that will give some kind of a benefit to the entire formation as their primary role. One that does this for the evil side, this guy's kind of all over the place. He's kind of jack in the box, jack of all trades actually, jack of all trades, Sauron, because Sauron has CC, right? He debuffs enemies, gives madness. I mean, it's just damage, extra damage. I would call him either a CC commander like Eomer said, or a support. That's the two thing I would call. I mean, some people, Jeff has been running, one of our team members at Utes has been running Sauron as a tank as well. So he can be all of those things. He will do all those things well. Especially if you get lucky enough with his relic in the command trait, he can be just, that much better at being a tank. And we'll talk about guides and tier lists for each type of these roles in the coming videos. So don't worry about, oh man, he talked about Sauron being a tank. Oh, where do I find this? We're going to talk about this very, very soon. Let's see, do we have, the last two, let's talk about, you guys talked about the CC, and we'll end on the troop commanders. Okay, so CC, crowd control. You're either giving troops, you're debuffing the troops in a way or shape or form. So Sauron is a great example of a CC. He has a possibility of madness from his top R0, the Deceiver. He has madness from Lord of Gifts. He has stun from Gorthar, and then he debuffs, formation, commanders, yes, just commanders stats by 15% when fully leveled. Let's see some more CC examples. We have Galadriel has a CC skill. I definitely wouldn't call her a CC commander because she has one skill, that possibility of 50% chance to inflict madness to 2 formations every 3 rounds, has a 2-round cooldown. I love this skill from her. But then again, I wouldn't call her a CC commander because her primary role is not to debuff and do all these crazy things on the enemy. I'm not sure if besides Sauron we have anybody else that does this. I guess Gil-galad with the evasion, but it's not inflicting on the enemy, so I wouldn't call that a CC skill. Yeah, so I mentioned this a little bit earlier about Icicle, his top R0 skill. Although it's CC, to me it's just useless because it's one formation every 3 rounds. You know, so it's the commander and the units. It's 6 instances of stun for the entire fight, and it's 2 RNG, you know, who it's gonna hit. Although Kurt, I agree with you that he has that skill, it's just, for me, it's just bad, you know. Who also has a CC skill is Elrond. His R3, I would consider this a CC skill because, like I said, it's a debuffing, it's something being inflicted on the enemy. Attack inflicted by the commander's formation unit reduces the target's defense by 15. At level 5 also reduces the attack by 15. And then at level 10 reduces the focus by 15. Yes, agreed, League plays. Witch King will be my second option for a CC, and this is why I don't have Witch King on this one. That's why I ran Witch King along with my Storm, because of that. Okay, both Umbra, both sides. I'm just showing my good side just as an example. True. Bard I don't have Bard, but Bard has CC skills. You're definitely correct. Let's go here to the tree, to the map over here. Bard has CC skills. You are right. Let's go over here. Skills. Okay, so let me remember. Oh, yes. So, I mean, Bard is full of CC skills. Again, not things that just debuff, right? But things that inflict something on the enemy. There's bleeding damage on this guy. Damage reduction on commanders, on the bowmen. Okay. Minus defense as well. Okay. Bleed and also damage reduction. Man, I haven't looked at Bard in such a long time. Yes. Okay, also some damage reduction from the Descendant of Girion. You're right, this is for his own troops. And some more bleed over here. And then possibility of madness. It's actually, you know, there's a lot of skills. I would consider him a type of CC commander besides being a damage dealer mostly. Mostly, I would call him a damage dealer / CC. That's how I categorize him. Witch King is 3.7 CC each battle on average, so it's very nice. Put a debuff if you run Fell Beast, yes. Witch King will probably be the second commander that will be a CC. He has... Let's go to Witch King here really quick. Where do I find Witch King? I dislike using this map so much that I don't even remember. He's up here. He's in... Are you kidding? You can't remember that Witch King is in Angmar? Pff, what a Lord of the Rings fan am I? Okay, so he has Lord of Nazgul, gives some damage reduction here, or defense reduction here, some stun from the top R0, some debuffs from, you know, from the top R5, some extra debuffs from if you're running Fell Beasts, right? And then possibly Ring Wraith with the stun. So yeah, there's a lot of CC there, right? Anything that has Ring Wraith is a type of a CC skill. But then again, the way I'm categorizing, the way I want to categorize for you guys is whenever somebody looks up, you know, oh, who are my options for CC commanders in terms of commander role? You might only find, you know, in my playbook, Sauron, Witch King, possibly Bard on the good side, because he has quite a few skills that do damage, like some kind of debuffing, some kind of hurts the enemy in some way. When I mean CC, doesn't have to be only stun and madness. What about heal blocks? Heal blocks is a type of CC. You're stopping people from healing, so you're controlling the enemy's, you know, power against their own will. So anti-heals, like Sauron even has an anti-heal, so he's an extra CC, right? So when you look at this, Sauron, RP or NRP, should be a commander that's in everybody's playbook. If you're playing evil RP, look at all he does. Madness, stun, debuffs commanders, increases damage done to formations, and then also heal blocks, and also has pursuit. He has everything that you want. So evil players definitely should be looking at getting Sauron, even low spenders. Okay. Yes. I started to test with Kirun Ombra, and this is why I love seeing the numbers. But then I myself test things, because the numbers don't always play, because the whole RNG, the numbers don't always play in our favor, and especially with the low chances in RNG. For example, the evasion from Thranduil, for example, 20%. If you run him as a tank, increases that possibility of proccing, so it could possibly work, right? But then again, what if you get the low end of the stick, where the procs is, even though it's 20%, you're still not getting, equal to 20% of that proccing. So, or even if the low chance is just, it doesn't proc enough, because, for example, if I'm running Thranduil with elves, but then I'm not running him as a tank, I'm just running him in a normal formation, he's only 20% likely to proc out of the times that he is due to get hit. So if he only gets hit 8 times in a fight, that means that possibly he's going to evade once. Okay? So exactly, but that's the thing, I try to get the best possibility on 10 fights, 100 fights, 1,000 fights, because you have for probabilities, for dice rolling, you have to have a large sum of trials for the number to play true. Because until then, you can still get, let's say you do 10 battles and you only get 1, right? Maybe the 11th, 12th, you roll twice the number you need. I like to play as little as I can with probabilities. I love RNG. I run Sauron on my evil account, and I run Galadriel for her RNG madness, but I like to choose the ones that have a higher chance of that working. That's why I love Witch King. Witch King's probably better than most other ones. 50% on the top R0, 30% on Ring Wraith is a lot better than, I think it's like is it 15% on Kirun? I can't remember now. So even though I am testing Kirun to get that for myself, So yes. Last but not least, the ones that struggle the most right now are the troop commanders. Let's go over a few. Okay. Good and evil. So I agree. That's why, like I said, that's why I like the higher chances of the CC. For example, Sauron, he hits people with madness, right? There's the chance of not proccing, but then, for example, Lord of Gifts. There's the chance of not proccing. Give me a second here. Somebody is. Let me mute Jax for a second. Oh, never mind. He muted himself. All right, cool. Perfect. Right? I just like to choose the higher end of the RNG as possible. All right, so let's go. Troop commanders. So Witch King, Sauron, Undying, Shadow. It depends how you build them, my friend. You need commander damage in your formation, which you have in the Shadow. Depending how you build your Witch King in your Undying, you might be able to get enough damage out of them. Personally, I would run 2 damage dealing as primary. So I would run Lurtz and the Shadow, or if you're gonna run Undying as a damage dealer, then run him as a damage dealer. But to fight, if RP especially, to fight against the good side meta, you need things that pump out damage. So I would personally run Lurtz and the Shadow, then probably Sauron and Undying. I run Sauron as the speed build if you're able to, Undying as my tank, and then 2 damage dealers. That's how I run them in my evil account. Even though I do also, I'm testing Witch King and Undying on the same. I swap them out to see who does better at what I'm needing to do. Okay. Sweet, Sir Tur. Our model's in the house. Sir Tur the model. I know you send me those reports when you got them. All right. I know we've been talking about this formation for a little bit of time. The most suffering roles in the game right now. Troop commanders. I remember saying this in the Discord earlier, days ago, and I also talked about this. I don't know if it was yesterday's live stream or on Fridays. Was commanders, troop commanders, they suffer right now for one simple reason. Damage dealers, they will do damage equal numbers of, not equal numbers, but their full power of damage round 1 all the way down to round 10. Because their damage is not calculated by how much HP they have left or by how many troops you have left, like you did in classic Rise to War, remember? So, but troop commanders do. So if I have 1,000 units in my troop formation, I do 100% damage in the first round. If I lose 10% in round 2, I'm not doing 100% damage anymore because now I have 10% less troops. And this is where the imbalance is. I think if the devs fix this, okay, you guys can call me out on this in the future. If the devs fix the difference between how damage dealers do that, not messing around with the percentages of their skill. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how the round over round damage is calculated. Then you guys are going to see an increase in troop commanders. Because right now, it makes no sense to focus on troop commanders when their primary damage comes from troops. Round after round, as they die, they do less damage because there's less troops. And damage dealers don't suffer the same fate. Ideally, commanders would do less damage as their HP drops, right? Or as their defense drops. I don't know. Or as their troops die, like in Classic. But I don't think that would work out as well because of how the new gear works. I prefer it to be tied to the commander's HP. That would balance out the things without even touching the skills right now. I think they need to fix this first before even looking at the skills for troop commanders, because the imbalance is in how damage is calculated in the first place. So, but troop commanders, when I say troop commanders, is not defensive troop commanders. We'll go back to the support role more for that, but it's for attack, for damage. Okay, so let's look at some primary ones. We got Umbra said he already pointed out one. Gil-galad is a primary commander that focuses on units. He evades in one. I know. It is what it is. I don't want people to finish like, hey, we started talking about, the whole, the 5, 6, now 7 rows that we just talked about, and then he stops in the middle. So I prefer to sleep less tonight, and make sure you guys don't go out leaving like I didn't do, what I said I set out to do, which the content giving it to you guys, and so, but we're good. What's up?
He cares too much.
I actually do. I genuinely do. So let's finish it up. We're gonna wrap it up in 5:10. So let's do this. So Kinglykin, I wouldn't call this CC again because it's not casting anything on the troops, right? It would be more of a supportive skill. You can evade. All right. Yes, go ahead, Avila. Time the streams and you call me out. Tomorrow. So tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Avila, I wait for you right there. Can't be right here. Right?
I love how freaking Gil-galad has a guaranteed stun, but all of our guys are a percentage chance to stun. That's so good.
Yeah. I do think it's a useless skill. You gotta put 15 points into this skill for it to proc. It's interesting that it's a guarantee stun, but I've played with this last season. I personally think is a waste. I think people put this here just because right now troop commanders are so unbalanced compared to damage dealers that it seems like this might be a win. Honestly, these 3 skills, his R3, look, it shows 20%, right? Alliance leader, each time damage is dealt, the next instance of damage dealt by the commander's formation goes up by 20%. The thing is, once you reach level 5, I remember seeing this skill go up to over 100%. So, but you're like, wow, that's such a good number. It is, but like I said, the imbalance in damage is so crazy right now that because, let me give you this example. Let's say round 3, my troops are going to hit with this skill. It's 100% extra of damage for the next instance. That sounds amazing. But by by round 3 or round 4, because Dane and Bjorn are still pounding 100% of damage, they're going to wreck my elves. And then I'm going to do my damage is going to be like this. Because he just ate, I don't know, a fourth of my units in one hit, because he doesn't lose anything between round 1, 2, and 3, because it's not dependent on his HP or his units. And then it becomes a very underwhelming skill. It's a hit or miss. I've seen Gil do 180 to 100 plus K damage with his troops, but it's very, very, very inconsistent. Okay? Very, very, there you go. See, there is interesting. So Ombra just sent me a report from Gil doing 169,000 damage. Okay? I love this report, Ombra. Thank you for sending this. Now, the thing is, there are a few factors to this. He is fighting against eagles, so it's ranged up. Okay. Also, was that during the bug? No. When was the bug? Was in the bug last week? I don't think so. This is the report is from the 25th of February, so I think it was before or after the bug. There are a few factors here. One, running a great beast protecting the ranged units the entire fight is a huge plus. The second thing is they're fighting against eagles, and so ranged has extra damage, and this is the only instance that I've seen him pop over 100. Good point. The only reports that I've seen him do over 100k in damage, okay, is because he was running. I think the 3-4 reports I saw, it was because they're running Arnor T4. Besides that, the closest I saw was probably around 70 to 80,000 in troop damage. So exactly. So Isildur Bay, normally his ceiling is 90k. But so I would love to see more reports on Gil, and particularly this player. So I know you guys are gonna have a lot of reports from this player next season, because I will be in the same server. So we're gonna come back on Gil. Although most of the reports I've seen, he has not hit over 100,000. So I'm gonna reach out to this player and ask him for a few more reports against not the units that he counters, because he's a small unit and he's ranged. So eagles are gonna get shredded by him. And so Elrond is also doing 90k damage with T3 archers from the elves. So I love the report. I like to see more to see if how consistent that is. But then again, guys, this goes hand to hand with what I was just saying, right? In this case, great beasts are protecting the units. So every time Gil hits, they're taking less and less damage, allowing them to do more and more damage before, the other guys will shred through them. But it's a nice report nonetheless. Much cheaper than the enemy is running. I'll show you guys this report. Actually, I won't show it now because it has the name. So I'll crop it out and I'll send it later. It's an NRP. Go ahead, Jax.
Troop damage formations absolutely work. So I'm not sure what you're getting at here. They absolutely are viable.
The thing is, the reason why I can't take you for a word, your Jax, your level of account, anything. It's what I was telling the youth group a couple of days ago.
After 2 years of doing this, you got to know when I talk from what perspective I'm talking.
Oh, of course,
from.
of course. Obviously, of course, I take your perspective.
I'm not talking free to player. I'm not talking Dolphin. I'm talking
Kraken level.
You get some good stuff and you go wreck shit.
Of course.
But troop damage, troop unit, unit damage formations absolutely are good. I don't anybody says differently, you're wrong.
Jax is talk. He's in the game, the ball game of kicking Cristiano Ronaldo in the Nuggets. That's the kind
Well-
that's the that's the perspective
because I'm
Jack's
going into a
Jack's
fight.
play.
I'm going into a 1v1 fight with somebody that's carrying around a machine gun, and I got a fucking rock. So I got to improvise. But in this situation, it's fine. Like I've tested, my troop damage formations against this meta. Good, cookie cutter 90% of all the best formation, whatever, Dane, Bjorn, Gandalf the White, and whatever good fourth. I've taken my troop damage, formation against that, and I'm talking all gold, not like I'm fighting free to plays. I don't ever fight free to plays unless they're in the way of an objective. I actually avoid free to play players. But whale versus whale, they got all gold, I got all gold. They got Dane, Bjorn, Gandalf the White, and whoever, Gil, fucking whatever you want as your fourth. That's great, and I've beaten them pretty much every time. Yeah, I haven't lost yet. I'm sure I will lose, but so far it's 101. I've been able to beat those with a troop damage formation, believe it or not.
All right, we'll see. I'll wait for Jack's Callie's reports in our report section in the upcoming season.
I don't have reports.
I know. I'm saying I will.
Ask the players. I can give you player names if I remember them from just the last season, not all 12 seasons. But there are players in this chat that have somewhat been a part of those and can verify what I'm telling you right now.
So I mean,
Like
you're leveling up your 4 formations. So at least by the end of the season, we're gonna have some reports from Jackson. We'll come back here and analyze them together.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, hopefully, we'll see. Yep.
Perfect. So let's finish this up really quick. High King gives attack to Elven formations, right? And so this is a primary example of a troop commander. There's quite a few. You have. Let's look through. I mean, these are all my damage dealers. Primary formation commanders that do unit damage. Elrond could be considered one because he buffs the attack of his units.
Elrond's definitely a good one. Troop damage.
Ring Bearer gives follow up to him in another formation for the first 4 rounds. Elf Lord is a debuff, and then Half Elven. Nice thing about him, he can be played in a couple of different ways. He can do some commander damage and then some troop damage here. You can play him different ways. So who else? Let's see on the evil side. Let's close up on the evil. One evil commander that is a prime example of. I'm not saying there are the example to go with, but they are one example. Let's go with Gothmog because I know Gothmog has a couple of. He has a couple of troop buffing skills. So I know, like I said, he's not the prime example, but this is what we mean.
Why use him?
No, that's it.
Horrible.
What I'm trying to explain is what it means to be a troop commander, right?
Oh, okay.
Because right now we're just talking about roles. We're not talking about tier lists or placing people.
He's hybrid though.
So most likely, yes. So
use Uglock. Sorry, use that guy.
Uglock.
He's a good example.
There
of
you
a
go.
Troop guy.
Yes. So you got the White Hand. All of his 3 troop buffing skills will buff their attack. Right, so you got mostly the attack. Yeah. The White Hand.
Is just your Urukai on the R5.
Yeah, exactly. So he buffs attack and defense on the Urukai. At R3, he buffs the attack and lowers a little bit of the defense, but an extra 35 of unit attack. And then at Urukai Elite, another 30 of attack on max level. This is what we mean when we talk about troop command. When I talk about troop commanders, are commanders that will buff their troops by either increasing their stats or by giving them special abilities, like follow up from Gandalf the Grey and follow up from Elrond as well.
Isildur Bane asked, I think he's asking me, have I 1v1 with Ares in Yeet? Did he ever play RP or used to play RP?
No, they've been in RP for a long time now.
Yeah, but did they ever play?
I think they played in the beginning seasons, but they were like I think not one of the first ones, but early.
Did he play in was it season 5 or after that Yeet went to NRP exclusively? Because I have fought an Ares before, and it may have been with Yeet,
maybe,
but it would have been several seasons ago. and it would have been an RP. If it's the same one, we have fault. Yeah. But if it's not that one, then no, we have not fault. But I live to fight 1v1 with anybody in the game. That's where I excel. So yeah, love to meet anybody one-on-one.
Yeah,
that's what I'm pretty much only here to do.
So, all right, guys, we're about to wrap up. Let's see just a couple of extra things here. So, yes, Isildur Bane, Urukai Elite buffs both the commander and the units. That is why if you're running somebody like Lurtz, right, you're gonna go with his 2 damage skills, and then you go with Urukai Elite for the extra.
Well, there's nothing else after Lurtz.
Yeah,
it's always kind of been this way. He's always had dead skills, kind of.
Yep. Crazily, his unique makes him really, really good. But besides that,
you talk about a comeback player of the year, man.
Yeah, Lurtz.
Lurtz it, boy, after 2.0.
Yeah, he shined.
Comeback player of the year award.
Yeah, if you have to rank, like what the commander was in 1.0 to now, Lurtz will probably be like god tier of like level of no. Listen to what I mean. He from level of improvement, like how much he jumped in the scale, he is like the top, because everybody Sauron was good in 1.0.
Yeah,
he was amazing in 1.0, and he still.
I miss Sauron the most out of all the changes, and well, you're gonna probably say freaking Khaldun, but after Khaldun, Sauron the absolute most from 1.0.
There are
just wreck image dealers.
There's 4 for me that I miss on the evil side. Khaldun, Sauron, but there's 2 T2s. There's Mount of Sauron and Gothmog had a very unique. Oh yes, I mean, Grima's the one that went from the top all the way to the bottom.
He just that change wrecked the free to play community, because he was so viable for free to plays.
Yeah,
so important.
It's like this. Lurtz and Grima did this. They just swapped places. Lurtz went from the bottom. Nobody used them all the way to the top. Grima went all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom. They just swapped places really.
Yeah.
All right, cool guys. We hit 2 hours. All right, let's close this. Don't forget, a couple of announcements. Tomorrow, we're gonna be every single live stream gonna have a recruitment announcement. So if you're a leader, if you know a leader in your team, you guys are looking for players, reach out to me via DM. Send me a little copy, a little ad that you want me to read or show, an image or a video. Axe had a incredibly funny ad that they made. So if you guys have something like that, send that over to me. I'll run through the live stream and I'll help you guys be able to recruit. Tomorrow, 8:30 p.m., meet back here. And you guys, everybody that's here, you guys are going to know what the topic is. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing our first tier list in 2.0 together. All right. It's going to be quick because I'm going to have all my notes set to the side here. I'm just going to go through, where I place each one of those commanders. I'll let you guys know by surprise which type of commander and which type of category you're going to talk about. It's going to be free to play, low spender, high spender. Let you guys know tomorrow. But you guys know it's going to be our tier list. So, don't forget, if you guys can, share the link with your, with your warband, with your friends. Let's get the community growing, all right? Guys, thank you, Jax. Thank you, Avila, for being on. Thank you. We got everybody here. Got Venatrix, Whale, Searcher, Ombra, Isildur, Evan. Who else is in the house right now? We got, we got the crazy Wojciech Z. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't read your name. I'm really bad. We got Kurt's League Place. We got the Brazilians in the house today. We got Maeno. We got Whale, Amador Valor. I don't know if he speaks, probably Spanish. We got the Italians in the house, Ombra and 2 Steps. Skinny Kid, Kappa Rage. Guys, Ducky Quacks, thank you everybody for being on. Don't forget, 8:30 tomorrow, our tier list. Peace. Take care, everybody.